Leslie Gonzalez's path to becoming a doctor was filled with overwhelming pressure, stress and anxiety. Classroom struggles, the challenge of juggling a part-time job and schoolwork. Gonzalez labeled herself a failure. And on top of that, she felt the pressure of being one of the only Latinas in her medical school setting. A lot of imposter syndrome came into play, and I would often feel stressed out and anxious. I would call my parents and tell them, "I'm so done with this," and just have one of those breakdowns, she said. Those feelings were always followed by a crushing wave of guilt. Gonzalez, a child of immigrant parents, would tell herself to pull it together because she had to make her parents' sacrifices worth it. She couldn't cope with these feelings. At the time, Gonzalez was studying osteopathic medicine at Western University of Health Sciences in Pomona and sought professional help from one of the school's therapists. Through 9 months of therapy sessions, she learned that her pressures came in part from her position in her family. "A lot of it was because I was put on a pedestal for a very long time due to being the firstborn and having so much responsibility," Gonzalez said. As the oldest of 4 children, Gonzalez's dad referred to her as the leader of the pack. She set the standard for what her siblings could achieve academically and personally. She describes herself as the advocate for her family. Gonzalez and others in the Latino community are taking to social media to share their understanding and experience of first-generation trauma. It's a colloquial term some Latino Americans use to describe the emotional struggles of children whose parents are immigrants. There are differing definitions of who is considered first generation, often dependent on whether they are born outside the U.S. or have citizenship. But Gonzalez and others are bonding over a shared experience. Gonzalez shares her point of view about her traumas on TikTok and Instagram. Gina Moreno talks about breaking the cycle of self-neglect as a first-generation Latina on TikTok. Erica Cruz talks about the dependency that immigrant parents have with their first-generation children.